Wow.
Fair,
Well,
but do they?
Especially if you
okay.
consider that the majority of the government is rich white guys.
But think about it this way: the government already does decide what's morally right. They decided murder was wrong.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
we
say.
all agree
For
with
like
that, but
for a lot of things,
Douglas?
so are we
for
thinking?
a lot of things, it's probably good that they're moderating stuff. But for other
All right,
things, it's probably not right to have them controlling.
fair. I understand where you're coming from.
Plus, maybe you shouldn't post this. Wait, so sorry. Are you posting all these on YouTube?
Yeah, probably. Except no one's gonna watch them, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you might create a scandal if you post on YouTube us questioning religion.
Camilla, I do that enough in my daily life. I don't care. Like,
Okay.
if people are angry at me for questioning religion, then I'm not sure those are the people I want to be, you know, interlocking with. You know what I mean? So those were fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh, great.
Oh, Camilla, I have a question for you specifically that we were talking about in our debate class.
Oh, okay.
Should all learners be required to learn a foreign language fluently before grade 12?
Um,
So should people learn a second language, like a foreign language, um, like before grade 12? I think by grade 12 was the correct wording.
um, not exactly a priority. Like,
Fair.
people get by fine without being bilingual. Oh, I don't think so. Like, I mean, of course, it would be extremely beneficial for that person to learn two languages before grade 12. But there are some people that do not have the mental capacity that can, like, they have some sort of, like, mental disability.
Fair.
Like, I don't think it's, I don't think it should be mandatory or whatever,
Yeah, I've had that. Yep.
but completely beneficial towards, like, I mean, whoever knows two languages will probably thrive better in life than someone who doesn't. Oh, yes, it's beneficial, but not mandatory.
Beneficial but not mandatory. Yeah, I feel that. Hudson, we talked about this before, but what do you think?
Well, I think for that one, I was in the mostly agree or whatever.
Yep, we were there together. The some would agree.
And yeah, I'd probably say the same thing in that like kind of like I think it's almost so beneficial that in its own right becomes almost necessary. But not as in like total like you need to do this, but like there's just so many beneficial things
There we
that
go.
it just becomes at some point hard to ignore.
Yep. Hey, Camilla.
That could have been way
Just
worse.
this is why I have high hopes. We're done checkpoint 1 in 3 minutes.
Indeed. How long has it been?
We've been doing this for 53 minutes.
And we're on adventure map 3.
Pretty good.
Been better, but oh no, we can't say that.
All right. Next topic. Ah. So, both of you, do you consider babies to be innocent?
What? Yes.
Um, yeah.
When do they cease to become innocent?
Oh no.
What's the cutoff?
Mm, a lot of problems that I didn't have before since I downloaded social media.
Fair.
So, at a certain extent, that could be when someone's innocence starts to fade. Social media
Fair.
would be
So, like, when you're more readily, like, introduced to the world, because that's what social media is. Like, it's an outlet to see everyone, and everyone isn't generally super...
I'm not a big fan of kids, but
I-
I like being around them.
I love their
because-
youthful innocence.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
They haven't
they're
been
not
scarred yet.
self-conscious, you know?
They haven't been scarred yet by, like, mean people.
Yeah.
Alright, done, Camilla, that checkpoint.
Nice. Big one for me is that they're not self-conscious, you know?
True.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a meme right now, but it's kind of the theory that you don't, like, actually know anything until you're 4. You know? Like, do you have memories before you were 4? No. Like, most people say no. Including me.
Ooh, I have a question.
Now,
I have a question.
I don't know if that's...
I have a question that might vary via person.
Okay.
Let me. They have the good wording here. Are intentions or outcomes more important when judging whether actions are moral?
Oh.
So if I'm judging whether this thing is moral, like good or bad, do I judge based on like the intentions?
I really like this question.
Do you judge based on the intentions of the person doing it, or do you judge based on the
Right.
outcomes? Right behind you. What do you guys think?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, well listen, it sort of depends on the scenario. Like, if
Yeah.
someone intended on murdering someone, but the outcome was not murdering them, like,
That's still attempted murder, though.
which one's worse? The intention, obviously.
Like, you're
Well then, yeah, with that example though, as it stands, most things are judged by the outcome, because attempted murder is named attempted murder, even though the intention was to murder.
it was to kill someone, yeah. The punishment is still less than if you would have actually succeeded.
Legally?
But yeah, but why is that?
Yeah, why?
You're still doing the same thing.
You still
just failed.
you tried to kill someone, but you just didn't do it properly. Like, how is that better than just straight up committing it? Like, succeeding. Why is failing at murder better than succeeding at murder legally?
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd say the intention.
What do you think, Camilla?
Like,
Intention or
9 times out of 10, the thing that they're trying to do ends up being what actually happens, and even if it isn't, it ends up being like that's just what they wanted to do.
Hudson? Can I challenge your viewpoint a little bit?
Oh, for sure.
What about people doing the wrong thing for the right reasons?
That's what every-
Example.
So, like, as an example, it's hard to think of an example for this, but you know, like, if I
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, well, I can give you the opposite. I can give you a good thing for the wrong reason. Like, oh, I gave money to this homeless person, but only because I thought this homeless person would one day, you know, become powerful and give it back to me, kind of thing.
Okay, that's not a great example.
Not a really not a great
Okay,
example, but
So, okay,
Yeah.
here's a good one.
yeah.
I gave $200 to this homeless person because I lost a bet.
Yeah. You're doing the right thing. You're giving money to the homeless, but for the wrong reason, like, cause you lost a bet. So do we judge the intention there?
Let's just take a step back though. If you're doing the wrong thing for the right reason,
What about, okay, how about this?
it's still wrong.
How about I punched Billy in the face, but Billy was yelling racial slurs at a black kid down the street?
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's a wrong action, but
Yeah.
definitely for the right reasons. You stop the kid from yelling racial slurs at the kids down the street.
Okay. I have actually a really good real life example.
All right, let's hear it.
So, you guys remember Eric?
Oh God, Eric. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You remember when he yelled the N-word?
Yep.
Yep.
It's hard to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kid in my class, um,
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember this.
yeah. Okay. This kid in my class, Jake Losey, got in trouble because after Eric yelled the N-word, he told him to go kill himself.
Ooh.
Which is an awful thing to say.
Oh God.
And they both got in trouble. And there was like controversy because there's like, oh my God, Losey didn't do anything wrong. It's all Eric.
Hmm.
So okay.
Very much the wrong thing for the right reasons. Like, you still should never say that, but your intentions, like, you shouldn't do that. But your intentions were right. Like, you had good intentions, I guess.
I was very impressed with that example.
Yeah, that was a great example. Hudson, now what do
Yeah.
you think? What's your feeling?
So yeah, but like, not saying that like that's wrong or anything, but there's there is sometimes better ways to handle things. In some situations, you're right. Yeah, it might
But
you might look at the outcome.
But Hudson, you were arguing for looking at the Oh no, yeah, no, you can continue. I didn't hear your full statement.
Okay, what Jake Losey said was incredibly immature.
Immature and also just kind of like not something anyone should ever say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care the scenario. You just don't say that.
Although Eric also said something
That that he should probably not have said.
So basically,
I think if you find or you think something's good in the moment, should reflect on it before going further. Try to find a better response. That I'm just gonna leave with that. I'm not going towards any more side anymore.
No, we're all agreeing that action probably should have picked. Probably should have picked another response. We're asking should he be judged by that action on what he said or what he meant when he said it.
okay, Nicholas, FYI, I finished 10.3.
Okay, can you give me a second?
Oh.
This is gonna take a bit. It's fine.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like no matter what you choose,
True.
there's always gonna be
I feel like
situations
Hudson,
where it's gonna be faulty.
Can I say? I feel like for all of these questions, the answer is kind of always. It's never it's this or it's this. It's always an edge case, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're never saying conclusively. You always judge by the intention. Generally, it's always a bit like it depends on the scenario.
Exactly, and that's what life is.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair.
There isn't. It's this or it's that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it is, but.
I mean, yes. I mean, some things are just kind of like.
Nicholas, I've got a good analogy for this whole question.
Yep.
It's a lot like French verbs.
Okay.
I'd say usually you'd solve it one way, and I'd say that'd be look at the intention.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, I don't know, 9 times out of 10, when something's committed that's wrong, it would be either thought out or like.
By the way, my question also.
Something like necessarily bad.
What about doing good things for selfish reasons? Like, should Theo be celebrated for doing good things for selfish reasons?
I don't know. I probably should. I'd say they just don't get any reward, but they don't get punished either.
So
but it's kind of hard to do because people have opinions. Anyway, but Nicholas,
people have opinions,
the other side, like the 1 out of 10 times, is a lot like verb exceptions. You know, sometimes
Yep.
something isn't right in that situation, so you've gotta change it to be right.
Fair.
In which case, for like stuff like that you said, you might change to look at the outcome.
Nice.
Boom.
Boom.
Verb reference. Literally, like every French teacher in the vicinity is proud of me right now.
Yeah. Being 0, but if they were here, they would be proud.
Yeah.
Actually,
Exactly.
all of our French teachers would not be proud because we're questioning things in a Catholic school that you probably shouldn't be questioning. But
Yeah.
if we're answering these the correct way in their eyes, it would be we judge it based on what God would think.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
People have opinions.
If you post this video, it's gonna get removed from YouTube.
no, it's not.
What?
Camilla, I think
No,
you
it's
have.
not.
I think
There's
you have a.
worse things.
You have a misunderstanding of
We're answering philosophical questions, not like I don't know.
Camilla. There are full playlists that I've watched of atheists like arguing their point. I've seen a lot of debates between atheists and theists. I've seen a lot of Christians get crushed by logic. Like,
Do you really think YouTube's gonna answer to a report on like a 20 subscriber video?
also
talking
Hudson.
about,
Yeah.
like
Also Camilla. I think
opinions.
you're overestimating how much people care about me. No one cares. No one cares about me. So it's like, no one's gonna be like, this person has a viewpoint that I don't agree with. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think YouTube's faulty enough to like
they're also
get rid of something.
also I don't
It's
think
just an opinion.
also Camilla, I don't think YouTube is that partisan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure YouTube's pretty secular. Camilla, where are you, by the way? Alright, next question.
Oh gosh, another one.
This is fun. If it was discovered that most animals were conscious of their existence and eventual death, what would be the ramifications of this?
Oh my, that's a good one.
So if we found out that animals are, just like us, except, we can't comprehend them. Like, they understand their death, they understand everything that's going on, like, fully like us. What are the ramifications of this?
Okay. I feel like this would take time to answer, but
I feel like we could have some immediate answers.
I feel like there'd be immediately like two sides. There'd be the people that are like, environment, like you it doesn't really matter, because like.
So you're telling me the
We're
fact
like that. We're like, no, there'd be one side. Like, I'm just saying there'd be like different sides.
Fair.
I feel like
an immediate thing though is
would-
like zoos are just awful then.
oh
Like,
yeah,
they're getting
just-
banned immediately. Like, also pets. Like, that's kind of.
Oh my gosh.
Miles.
See, but if they then
Then we need.
um
Then at that point, we need a way for animals to give consent.
yeah, like you would, but how?
How do you get animals to give consent? I feel like then you.
Like-
I just want to put in here that I found my soulmate.
Miles?
Miles is my soulmate.
Kamal, are you done this checkpoint?
No, you.
No.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while. But Kamal, this is really good pace.
That is actually like we're only 18 minutes in.
Like, Kamal, this is kind of insane.
Yeah, that's a good question, Nicholas.
Don't.
Yeah, obviously,
Oh,
I
God.
think zoos would immediately be.
Kind of morally corrupt. Also, I feel like most people at that point become vegetarians. Like,
Yeah.
because if you understand that cow that you're eating has a conscience and is, like, accepted of its like it knows it's gonna die.
Yeah, okay. I feel like if that was actually a thing and people knew that, I would become a vegetarian.
Same. Like I like meat and everything, but like I can't. Don't think I could stomach meat if I knew
I
that
don't
cow
know.
was begging for life as it died, being like, "Please, I have a wife and children." Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. But like, I feel like that would shake, like, just everything up so much.
exactly. That's why the question
be-
was, what would be the ramifications? The ramifications are pretty huge in this case.
Yeah, there'd be a lot. I feel like that. That's mostly what I know. I'm not.
I like these questions. These are fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Camille, how are you? Dying of
Not like this checkpoint.
Camille. Remember, calmness is the key to parkour.
Yes.
The minute you get the minute you get flustered is the minute you've already lost. I wonder if anyone's ever gonna check onto this stream during the whole time we do this.
I
I know, but I'm talking someone who doesn't like a new person.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not very optimistic.
I'm not either, but it'll be interesting.
Although they would have hit
Does it really matter though?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think we really care because the reason you did this to start with is so I could see the permadeath run. Remember
I have a
this?
question for you. Yeah, I know that. I can't believe that. I have a question.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
I like this one. I've been kind of scrolling through these questions. Does anonymity encourage people to misbehave, or does it reveal how people would choose to act all the time if they could?
Oh, okay. I have a very easy answer. So this is the only question that you've asked so far that I actually have one answer for.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. The first one, absolutely the first one.
So it makes people misbehave more.
Does not reflect what they would act like who their true selves are. Absolutely not.
I'm saying, but if they could be anonymous all the time,
Yes, I know.
would they do that? If all of life could be spent that way, would that be how they act? You're saying no? Fair. Hudson, what are your thoughts?
I feel like some people would like.
Hudson's going for an edge case again.
Everyone would be indifferent. Everyone would be like indifferent.
Okay.
You'd be in a
Please
society.
Elaborate by
where
indifferent.
No one.
So you're saying if
no
everyone
one,
could be
like-
anonymous, no one would care about each other anymore?
Like no one. You wouldn't. I don't think you'd meet as many new people, or like.
You-
In like but
How does that
you.
have? How does that have anything to do with the
Okay.
question?
I feel like people would probably try and do more things.
Okay.
Misbehave more. I think.
Okay. So the question is just, anonymous social media. Does being anonymous make people misbehave more? Or is that just how they would act if no one knows who they are?
Misbehave more. That is,
I feel like for most people it would make them misbehave more because you're already seeing this with like a VPN or an incognito mode.
Caleb.
People are like
Caleb.
People feel safer to do things that are totally bad but might be like disrespected
So
because no
how
one
about-
knows it's
but what about-
really them.
What about if you had that privacy in your normal life? Would people act like that anyway?
I feel like for most people, as it stands, they'd probably try to do more things that are like less respected, but not anything outright like a crime more.
What does
For most people.
What does less respected mean in this context?
Like something that's like pirating. It's technically, you can get away with it. No one will really care.
I mean, some people glorify pirating. Like, some people are like, yeah, stick it to the man. Like,
Yeah.
Like, give Disney
fair.
the middle finger. Come on, guys.
No, they're
Like, I'm not sure about this. Is pirating morally acceptable?
Yeah, they're good. I watched them. Yeah.
Camille, what do you think? Do you think is pirating morally acceptable?
Okay, could you define pirating for me?
Like, taking paid content for free by other means.
With permission. Yeah, I mean, this is basically just the.
See, but pirating.
But pirating
isn't
is without permission. Like,
yeah.
very clear.
Oh,
Not
You go
allowed
on a
to do
website
that.
where people have uploaded
Like
downloads
you can
of
download
that.
movies. Like, download movies for
you-
free kind of vibe.
Someone's downloaded it, and then you can kind of like
Or,
you
like,
can download that.
Camille,
to
you know
their
how
download
textbooks
and
are
get
like,
that for
you know
free.
how textbooks are like absurdly expensive. You know, pirating textbooks to get them for free kind of thing. Is that morally acceptable?
Yeah.
That is the root of the question here.
I feel like for me, like, I feel like if you're not over, like, abusing that power.
For me, I don't think it's about abusing. For me, it's who you're pirating from. If you're pirating from this small company that's like needs that revenue to survive, then maybe don't. But if it's from Disney, honestly, who cares? Disney has enough money; they don't need more.
okay, yes, that's
Yes,
true. It's still a
that
crime.
yeah,
It's still
but
a
yeah,
crime.
It's still a
that's
crime,
true.
but some crimes, do you think it's a morally objectable crime? Like, we're not.
But then that becomes
Yeah, because
an opinion-based thing. Like,
So,
who do you
do you think it's
who
wrong?
do you
Do you think it's wrong to pirate?
yes, I do. It's stealing someone's intellectual property. It is not cool. And yes, if you stole from Disney, no, they don't need more money. That's absurd. But like, it's still against the law.
But do you think stealing from Disney? Yes, it's a crime. Do you think it's a morally acceptable crime?
No, I don't, because you're still stealing someone's intellectual property.
Fair.
And who's to say what's acceptable or not when it comes to?
Generally the government. Generally the government.
Yeah. Okay.
But Nicholas, I do actually agree with you on that one. But then it becomes a thing of
What's the cutoff, I guess?
What's the cutoff? And it also becomes your opinion.
That's
What
where these kind of things
company
get
do you
tricky.
think is super like big and like
That's
has
why.
way too much money
That's why these
that
issues.
you think that you could steal from them.
That's why these issues are so hard, because there's always an edge case. You can't just say no pirating whatsoever. Because what if you don't have the money to buy textbooks? Then you're kind of left without a choice. But you can't also just say all pirating is right, because you can really screw people over with their intellectual property.
Well, this sort of corresponds with the whole fairness versus quality thing.
Yeah, true.
Like, if
It's
someone
fair.
can afford textbooks and
It's fair not to pirate from anyone, but it's equal to, if people can't, then
exactly.
they can't.
I feel like it actually it's good in the sense that it brings equity.
Yeah.
Like, for people that, like, even if there's, like, opinions involved, or, like, where's the, like, line where you, like, determine who's the big companies and stuff, you're still kind of, in its own right, evening out things. Somewhat.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like what could be interesting about pirating is if you make it enough of a hassle, people who can pay for the movies will pay for them, and people who can't will go through the hassle.
Yeah.
Make it annoying enough, and only the people who really have to will.
But the thing is, the pirating sites aren't run by like the government,
True.
so they can't really regulate it.
So we could advocate for
The
government-run
people-
pirating. That would be an interesting world.
See, how accepted would that be, though? I
I
feel
have-
like a lot of people would really
Actually,
get.
I think people would be fine with it. I think companies would lose their mind.
Yeah, totally. Because then, if like if they put their opinions into it, and you can only pirate from, let's say, like the bigger companies, those companies
They're
are
gonna be
not
pissed.
happy. And if you put everyone on there, there's a chance that you could literally just ruin someone's company entirely.
Yep.
See,
Welcome
yeah,
to the
but the
fun
problem
times
is,
of legality.
Like, they Caleb like said the like people of the government have tried to like
Regulate it.
Stop it entirely. But they literally just have the whole website on copy paste. Like,
Yeah, the problem with this
they
is
once like found it and like took it down, and literally the next day there was just another website. Like,
the problem
the
is
same exact thing.
it's unregulatable. Like there will
Well, I mean, if they caught it like as soon as it started.
No, but the
it's
thing is,
just so,
no, but the
it's
thing is,
so-
you would have to catch it from the root. You'd have to get every single
Yeah.
hard drive that has a movie on it and like delete them, like, and then you have to stem the flow of new ones. It's like it's an impossible problem.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. They're like not like really the problem, but the fact that they can't really keep up with that without having to like literally have eyes on it like 24/7. That's how it started, and now since they kind of just left it, and
Yeah,
more people are
at this point,
discovering it, like now it's come more
mainstream.
public. Yeah, but they've let it secure for so long that it's just too well like secured.
Oh, like it's too well dug in. You can't take it out now.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like honestly, the only way you can kind of deal with it is just kind of have to let it be. Like,
Yeah.
unless people are doing some really, really, really illegal stuff. I agree with Camilla. Like, you probably shouldn't be stealing people's intellectual property, but it's just so hard to police it.
Yeah. There's just no feasible or like
Probable way to
no
do it.
or probable way to just stop it entirely. Always gonna be like those people that are like, I'm not gonna pay for this. Why would I? Like,
Yep. And there will always be those who just don't want to have to go through the hassle and will pay for it.
Yeah, totally.
Unless you make it like... Nah, I still think some people just won't.
I just want to cut in here.
Yep.
And say that if we were not having these philosophical discussions, I would not be able, like, I would be losing my mind right now.
Well, I am losing my mind a little bit on the inside.
Like, checkpoint 4 can go fridge itself.
Yeah. There's no philosophical debate about whether this checkpoint is good or not. It's just bad. It's just an objective reality. Alright, I'm going to take a quick pause with parkour.
Yep.
Here we go.
What?
Next. Ooh. Nah, that's a bit too intense. Ah.
How many times have you gone to the glass panes, Nicholas?
Quite a few times. Okay. If I... This is a weird one. If I steal a loaf of bread from you and eat it, when does the bread itself cease to be yours and become mine?
Oh my gosh.
So if I steal your bread and eat it, when is that bread no longer yours? It's my bread.
Never.
It's always your bread.
If you think about it, if you didn't get like or buy it, you never took ownership of it.
So would you say...
Therefore, it's not not technically your bread that you stole.
So would you
Their
say
bread that you stole.
so would you say that the energy in my body that I got from that bread is yours?
Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I mean, technically, if you look about it like at it like plain and simple, there's you never like gained ownership of it, then yes, that that is technically still the bread
But
from that
how
person.
is the energy that bread has become still the same bread?
But it's not even the bread anymore at that point. It's just
Exactly.
the nutrients that came of it.
Exactly. So are those nutrients?
Oh.
Are those? Do you own those nutrients?
Okay, well then when it's digested.
So is
There.
that the cutoff? What about when you just like take a bite from it? Is now has that loaf transformed? Is now that loaf without the bite still their property?
But the loaf itself is still a thing. Like the whole every
True.
piece is still there until it's digested fully.
So are you saying if there's still one
So
crumb
until you
left?
eat
So you're saying if there's a crumb left of that loaf still
that
belongs?
crumb, no, that crumb
Ah.
that person.
So you're slowly taking away all that they own of that bread.
Yes.
Ah.
Good question. That was a fun one. Good,
Very
great
very
question.
short discussion, but a very fun
Yeah, I
discussion.
like that one.
He's just so goofy. Camilla, what are your thoughts on bread ownership?
Honestly, I've just been having a lot of fun listening to you guys, and I'm just not gonna put an opinion here.
Fair. Alright. Next question. Philosophical questions about society and government. Okay.
Oh gosh.
What causes the most harm in the world, but is completely avoidable?
Sorry?
What causes the most harm in the world, but is completely avoidable?
War.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
It's a pretty safe bet.
War?
That's probably yeah.
Okay, I'm actually really proud of that answer.
I'm gonna go with genocide.
Yeah.
There are actually, Nicholas, there are a lot of answers to that question.
There is.
There's a lot of things that could be like I think yours are probably more people have died to it, but like what about car crashes? Most of them, if not all, are avoidable. Like, you know.
Yeah, they're avoidable by not having cars. Done. No car crash.
Yeah, that yeah.
And also if someone decided not to be on their phone.
Or not drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually,
Or just
do you know what I think?
pay more attention.
I think what causes the most harm in the world, but is completely avoidable, that encompasses so many things, is just gun violence.
Welcome to America.
A lot of to think about it, a lot of deaths in war are caused by gun violence. A lot of genocides can just be caused by shooting a whole race of people. A lot of kids have died to gun violence.
Yeah.
And it's completely avoidable.
But what about like things that are like unnecessary? I'd say just
Like, purely
I'd just say
unnecessary.
like the humans becoming the way that they are, not like as in just how corrupt things have become, just in general.
Alright.
And that's just to be expected when you have like the like oh what's the word? I don't the privileges there. I think of that of like the modern day world. You can really do anything you want with like X amount of money, you know? Like in this day and age, there's so many things you can do and you just have so much like power that you could really just cause harm without even knowing it.
Ooh. Okay, I have a fun one that's less dark. What would a utopia be like, and
Okay,
how
good.
would What would a utopia be like, and how would it function and continue to exist?
I'm opting out of this
Utopia.
question. I don't. Okay, define utopia.
You know, like, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Fine. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like Oasis.
That's a
Like,
very different meaning.
like are you saying like as
Ah.
in
An imagined place or state of things where in which everything is perfect. So like think your
oh, okay.
like utopia would be like think your ideal world. That would be a utopia.
Okay. I'm gonna give a very annoying
So
answer.
what's the question again?
So what would a utopia look like, and how would it continue to exist?
Okay. I'm going to offer
Gosh.
an extremely annoying answer to this question.
All right.
Nicholas, I honestly can't even answer this one because that reality is completely 100% impossible. And
Yeah.
I know we're talking hypothetically.
Yeah.
Well, everything we're talking about is hypothetical, sort of. But, like, what would it look like? How would it function? It is literally impossible for the human capacity to have an idea of what that knowledge could be.
I'm not
Because
sure
it
about
is
that. We can have ideas. Like you can read books about utopia. Like Christianity proposes a utopia in heaven.
okay.
Like we can clearly imagine it. I just don't think it's feasible to exist. But that's a whole different
Yeah.
question. The
Okay,
question
yes,
is if we somehow made it exist, what would it be like, and how? I guess the question how could it function? The answer is just it couldn't. But what do you think utopia would be like?
um, money.
What'd you say?
Money?
I'm thinking I would actually go for the argument of no money.
I said no money.
Oh, I thought you just said money. I was like,
No, I said no money.
yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Like, I would say no divisions based on, like, classifications. Like, we don't need to divide ourselves based on who we are.
Yeah.
War, obviously.
Yep. A
Um,
world without, like, hunger, like, homelessness and hunger.
everyone has a home.
And a world filled with equity.
Everyone feels
Yeah.
loved.
An equitable world. Equitable?
Equitable?
E-
Yeah, I think it's
e-
equitable.
no, that's not right. An
Everyone feels loved.
equitable world. Oh, Jesus.
Equitable. I don't know, man.
How to conjugate the adjective equity. By the way, this checkpoint is awful.
I have a burning rage. Check.
Cool, we've been here for like almost 30 minutes.
No. If we're still here at the 1 hour mark, I'm just gonna have to go because I like.
Yep.
Okay, well actually no, maybe not. Maybe. If we're still here by 11 o'clock, this checkpoint, I'm gonna leave, and I'm under the impression that is completely fair.
Yep. I think at that point, if it's still there at that point, I'm just gonna, talk with Hudson, stop parkouring for a few minutes, and then come back. Maybe we'll switch our stream, play a game of Scrabble or something like.
So
All right. Next question to keep us sane.
yes.
How much privacy are you willing to sacrifice for safety?
Who says that you have to sacrifice privacy for safety?
Okay, let's think about it this way. How can the government catch, like, a murderer if they're not investigating people's homes, right? Like, how can, whatchamacallit? Like, airport security. That's an invasion of privacy, but we do it for our safety.
Yeah.
Like, they're looking through your bags. But we justify it by saying it's for our safety. So, what is the line?
That's a good question.
I'll just let us I'll let us think and ruminate about that for a little bit.
I feel like it's really up to you. I mean, for most of these things, yeah.
Yeah, and also, Hudson, I'm asking you. It's gonna be my
Yeah.
response this whole time.
Okay, fair.
It's up to you, and I'm also asking you. I want to hear your opinion. Like, I don't know. For me, it's probably cut off of, like, when it's an invasion of privacy for petty crimes, we don't need to do that. Like, it's like, if someone gets their watch
Yeah.
stolen, they don't need to investigate every subject's house inside and out, right? Like,
Yeah. Fair.
or like before we go on a plane, like it's not like they should do a full background check, look up your full phone search history, like
I feel like, yeah.
go in, search everything you've ever done. Like, I feel like that's a bit
I
extreme.
feel like when it's, I feel like it becomes a problem when you're not, you don't have at least some control over it. Like for the airport security, you can choose what to bring on that flight.
I mean, but
Or
yes, you can choose what to bring on that flight, but whatever you do bring, it's still gonna be searched. Like, you don't have a choice in that if you
yeah,
want.
but at least you have some control. Like when you have, I feel like it becomes a problem when you literally have no control.
Well,
of
you
the
always have
situation.
some control. If someone's gonna search your house, you can hide your evidence. You can, like, change things about your house. If someone's looking up what you've done on your phone, you can just, get rid of your phone. Like, there's always a measure of control.
Yeah, yeah. There always has to be like
No,
something.
but
you
there
can
always
do. No
is a
matter,
measure of control. Like, no matter what, there's always something you can do. Like,
yeah.
the question is, in that case, then, when does that something you have to do become too extreme for it to be justifiable?
I feel like then it becomes a problem when you have to consider doing that.
No, the question is, when does that happen? When is the point where that happens?
Oh, when? Like when would they
Yep.
have to?
When would enough be enough? When is enough enough? When is enough enough? Like, yes, you can technically, like, do something to avoid it, but
I feel like then it's probably not at that point. You probably done something like really wrong.
but what about false accusals? Like, you can go
Fair,
to prison
fair,
and
yeah.
be innocent. Like, it doesn't happen very often, but it happens.
Yeah.
Like, they can
Good
search
point.
and destroy your privacy because they think you've done horrible things. It doesn't mean you've actually done those horrible things.
But then you should have nothing to hide.
You should have nothing to hide, but you shouldn't have to reveal everything. Like,
Yeah,
it's a horrible excuse. Like, some people, like, you can say all those, like, marginalized people on the streets. Like, you can say, oh, the police are frisking these black people, but they shouldn't worry. They have nothing to hide. Like, I feel like you can
Fair.
immediately see the problem there.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Just because they have nothing to hide doesn't mean it's okay to be searched. It's like, just because I have nothing to hide doesn't mean I want people investigating my whole house, going through every drawer, every nook and cranny.
Yeah. That's a good question.
So when is enough enough? When do we decide that that is not okay? That is a breach of privacy that's too much.
That's a hard question that I don't really know the answer to.
Yeah, fair. There isn't really a good answer.
What would be your answer?
For when enough is enough privacy-wise, I don't know. I feel like when there's too many, like, when you're investigating someone so much that there's things that no one else knows that you're coming to find out, kind of thing. Like, if there's secrets that you want hidden forever, when those have to be, like, unveiled, when that's not the purpose of the search. That's, I think, my thing. When that's not the intention to find those specific things. Like, If your secret is you killed someone.
When you start finding things that weren't
Exactly.
intentionally
It's like if
looking for.
if your big secret is that you've murdered someone and they're looking for evidence for murder, sure. But if it's like your secret is, I don't know, that like you've been traumatized ever since your cousin died as a child, and they like go through your diary and find all this out, like that's a breach of privacy that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
That was a fun question.
Yeah. Stumper.
So Nicholas, like, might be taking a breather soon.
Yep. Ooh. Considering the technology exists to enable a real democracy, would a true democracy, every single person can vote on every single legislation, be advantageous or detrimental? It's like you don't just vote in your person, you vote for everything that's going on. The people get
like
the right to
100% democracy.
Yep, the people get the right to choose it.
The people get to choose it.
Yeah.
Like basically everything.
Yep. Would that be detrimental or advantageous?
I'm gonna say pretty detrimental, because as it stands, some people are kind of dumb.
But you have to think,
Yeah.
some people are kind of dumb, but some people aren't. Like, is the minority dumb or is the majority dumb? That's what you need to think about. Because remember, majority rules in democracy.
Yeah.
Some people may be dumb, but do those some people have enough sway to influence everything?
Yeah. Fair.
So, what are your thoughts?
I'd say that you've got to have it so that everyone's happy. The people are happy. They have enough control.
That's not possible. I don't think I don't think you can make everyone happy. That just doesn't work.
That's a good point, but I mean we're just talking theoretically here. All right.
True.
Let's just say that there was a theoretical level of control for both sides, that everyone is content with how much control they have.
Fair. I'm gonna say.
Then I'd say then there should be some sort of balance that keeps everyone in check.
I'm gonna say it's detrimental, but not because of anything that's gonna happen because it. Just because I think, Jesus Christ, going through that for every policy, everything that's going on. Think of how much of a hassle that would be. Think of how little you could get done. Like, the governments can barely deliberate on anything normally. Imagine if you have 1,000 people screaming into their ears of what they're supposed to do. Like,
yeah.
I'm just thinking nothing's ever gonna get done. Because if we're voting on everything, like, I feel like it's never gonna do anything. And if we do, then, like, I feel like for a lot of things, 50% of people are gonna be pissed off. Like,
yeah.
Still, that's always kind of is anyway, but then you can, like, it's still just kind of.
I feel like as it stands, we've got a decent level of control for each side. I'm not saying it's perfect, because it definitely isn't, but at least there's not.
Hudson, you have to actually acknowledge, we're saying that everyone, we all got equal power. We're saying this as white men.
Fair.
Like,
yeah.
Ask a minority and they're probably going to disagree with you that everyone has equal power.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a good point there.
We do kind of have a bias here of being generally the people in power.
Yeah. Good point.
Alright. Once this map reaches the 1 hour mark, I'm going to take a small break and come back to it.
Like,
Turns out Aquatic Adventure is the hell map. It's just this checkpoint. Alright, let's...
I
silence.
said from the beginning that I was concerned about Aquatic Adventure.
Is it right or wrong that everyone seems to be accustomed to the fact that all of humanity and most of life on Earth can be wiped out at the whim of a handful of people? So is it a good...
Yeah.
Is it a good or bad thing that we're accustomed to that? Not that that exists, that we're used to the fact that that's just how life is.
I mean, I feel like for most people, you kind of just... I mean, you really can't do anything
So,
right away
Hudson,
that could stop it.
is
like,
the fact
immediately.
is the fact that we're in acceptance about that? Is the fact that we're accepting the fact that yeah, our life could be ended by a few people at any point? Is the fact that we're accepting that a good or a bad thing?
Well, actually, Nicholas,
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. I mean, all of these are. But
for the world to end because of a handful of people?
Yes.
Like,
nuclear.
Yes, they have a lot of nukes, Camilla.
okay.
If you take, like, the President of the United States has executive power to nuke. Like, they don't have to consult anyone.
Okay, that's fair.
If-
Although,
Wait, they don't?
Nope.
realistically,
Oh my gosh.
Joe Biden will never do that.
No, Biden will never do that, but, like, he has the power. That's the scary thing. And think about more, let's say, unstable leaders. Think about, like North Korea. They have a lot of nukes. And they have a leader that's mentally unstable.
Crazy.
Should we be accepting the fact that this is just how the world is?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
tough one. I feel like it's probably a bad thing, because these people really shouldn't be allowed to have this much authority.
I agree with you, but that's not the question. The question is, should we be accepting the fact that that is how life is?
Okay, well, maybe Hudson is leading up to something.
Sure. I'll let him talk.
No, I'm not.
I would agree, like, there's two sides to this. If we didn't accept it, people would work more to change that fact. You know what I mean? Like, we would advocate more for more checks and balances to power, right? But on the flip side, if we're not in acceptance of that, that's a worry in our daily lives that we don't need. Like, we shouldn't be worrying about, like, like, are we gonna get nuked today, tomorrow, or the next day? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem, though. If sometime in the future things don't just the fact is, like, we go into the future knowing that these people, if disagreeing with someone, could basically just literally end all life. Like,
Yep.
that kind of seems like a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, no,
It's a very uncontroversial take. Yeah, that's a problem.
Does that need to be?
Should we be,
another struggle for us?
Should we be worrying about that?
Huh. But it might become like, if we kind of ignore it now, would it be a problem later? Like,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, maybe should we try
Exactly.
and make some like, checks for them?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they shouldn't have, like, just
Again,
the power
not
to
a very
literally just...
not a very hot take. I'm not sure how many people are like, yeah, let's have
Oh.
like 4 consecutive governments in the world be able to destroy all life. This is a good plan.
Well, yeah. What Nicholas? What do you want me to say? Like,
No, I agree with you.
Something very controversial. I
No,
know.
I'm just saying, you know, I agree with you. Camilla, did you do it?
Yeah,
Good job.
you. Okay. Are you gonna take that break?
Nah, I'm gonna go for a bit longer, but yeah, probably soon.
At 11, I have to go because I'm eating lunch, apparently.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, well, I'll go with Hudson.
Alright.
Alright, next question.
Oh, gosh.
At what point is a technologically enhanced human not a human anymore?
Oh.
Um,
Oh my gosh. Good one.
imagine if one like hinting in checkpoint 4 and then accidentally pressed the checkpoint.
Yeah, so what do you guys think?
I think.
When do they stop being human?
I say when it doesn't recall that it was ever human.
Okay, so you're saying
That
someone could still be human if we switched out every single part of their body and just left the brain. They would still be a human.
is what are like are like is it the is it really the thought like of a human like existing and having like
Also,
opinions and all
we
of
can
that?
we can make an
Is that what being
but
a human is,
then but
or
then
is it?
but then we can count really good AI as being human.
Oh yeah. But then that basically just
Or if you
comes
count
with this question, like
Yep.
if the AI is just as
Would
good as that.
would you consider AI a technologically aided human?
I hmm. That's a good question. Yeah. I mean, like maybe. Do you really like? Does it really like matter if you could have the same conversations and if you went into like a room and had no idea if one was actually human and one was just like a like very good AI,
They've done tests for that.
would it really matter at that point?
That is a strict experiment that people have done. They've done experiments where they've taken an AI, an actual person, and you would talk to both, and you'd try to find the difference. You try to guess which one's the AI and which is the person.
Yeah, but then it doesn't really matter at that point. Like,
So at
I
that
guess
point,
it really depends on the person if you really cared. Like,
so now my question is, should AI have rights?
Oh,
oh my gosh.
Camilla, you're saying no, but if they are sentient and conscious and can have feelings,
um,
then why shouldn't they have
I mean,
rights?
certain rights, I guess.
on paper, they probably should.
So
But
why
I
not
feel
in
like
practice? If you're saying on paper they should, but why in practice should they not?
just because people are afraid of like they would be like that'd be scary, you know? If
So why is our
something's just as good as you could actually have a chance to attempt to like overthrow you, and if it's actually that good, could it also commit like
so
crimes?
could you say that
Could
about?
it?
But you could say that about any human. You could say if
Yeah,
someone's like powerful enough, should they not have rights because they have a chance to overthrow the government or commit crimes?
yeah. So yeah, I'd say if it actually if it's actually like, if it knows that it's of its existence and like has like sentience, then probably, yeah. Otherwise, that'd kind of just be like, that'd just be really like a violation of like rights, you know?
Yep.
But then, like, would we want? I feel like someone would inevitably create that. But would we want to create that? Like, you know, like something that's literally just the same thing.
So, yeah, that's a good question. Should we create artificial humans?
Absolutely. I don't believe so. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed this. Like it's been fun. Bye.
Bye.
Hudson, prepare yourself.
Oh gosh, right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Camille's always kind of
About to get
ominous.
like, yeah, I know. Do you know what that is? No.
No idea.
I feel like I'm gonna get like,
Gonna order a drone
gonna get
strike on your
sent,
house, like.
or I'm gonna get sent like a like 50 Rick rolls or something. That'd be pretty funny.
Or it's a good thing. Camilla's like, I'm gonna play badminton with you. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully it's a good thing.
yeah, we can all hope.
Alright, I'm just gonna finish this map, then
Okay.
I will be off.
Will you ever be back, Hudson?
Yes.
As slow as my progress is, I'm slowly getting better at this checkpoint. Even though it's been basically an hour. It's been 50 minutes since I started this checkpoint.
Okay, here we go. Here's the end of the map. Oh, okay. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later. Oh yeah, Hudson, are you gonna come back? Is that a yes or a no? I didn't catch your response.
I will tell you if I can or cannot. I'll
Okay.
message you.
Okay.
But chances are I'll be back.
Yep.
Got nothing to do today, so.
Alright, let's continue this. We will not. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm slowly getting better. I can do some jumps more consistently. Get into the pains more often. Man, Manicube Radio has some fun songs. Like, I'm honestly impressed with their music library. Ugh. It's incredible to think we got here at like 18 minutes in. Now I'm just failing. Ugh. Oof, that person. 171 deaths in Winter Wonderland. Oh man. No matter how many times you do this map, it's always just as painful. I wonder if this will be the attempt. Probably not. Statistically, this won't be the attempt, but it's okay. Might be, though. There's always a chance, even though that chance is minuscule. I think my biggest advantage here is that I'm just keeping my calm. That's the only thing keeping me sane right now, is just be calm. Just chill. Oof. It's rough. Every time that happens, it hurts. That was good, though. That was good. I love the weird whale sound whenever those things appear. I really, while they were here, I enjoyed our conversations we had. They were fun. There are enlightening conversations, and I always enjoy enlightening conversations. I might just try a momentum one, just like pure momentum. Let's do this. Went great. That one takes a bit more than momentum because you kind of have to line yourself up. Ugh. This map is awful. Right, grab a drink of water. I've been on this checkpoint for an hour. Oh my god. This checkpoint sucks. One checkpoint taking an hour. Holy man. Now I'm just kind of failing everywhere. There we go. That's better. Back here again. Let's try to not lose. There's so many jumps that it's so easy to just mouse slip for one jump, which is annoying because the margin of error is so damn small for this checkpoint. Like, bam, that's a 4 block that you just kind of have to do, and that's a jump that you kind of have to do. And for some reason, that jump is hard, which it shouldn't be, but it is. This whole checkpoint is just hell, honestly. Okay. Oh. Oh, that was awful. Okay, I have new motivation. Let's keep going. In my head, that whole time while I was doing that, I was definitely thinking, okay, when do I pull the plug here? When do I just say, this is attempt 1 at all adventure maps. This attempt was a failure. Let's move on. So far, it doesn't seem to have to do that yet. It doesn't seem to have to do that yet. Okay, Christ. Okay, we're just gonna take a minute after that success. eat some food. At least split 1 hour and 5 minutes. Checkpoint 3 done. Checkpoint 4, 2 hours and 8 minutes. Alright, let's take it slow. I hope Hudson come back at some point. I understand that he got stuff going on, but like, no, that he has lunch. Hopefully after lunch he'll come back. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate that. I can talk again. All's right in the world. Jesus, feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. How you have to kind of think about this run is you just have to think in the present. You shouldn't think ahead. Be like, oh, but I still have this left. You just have to think the hardest part of Aquatic Adventure is over. And just bask in that glory of knowing the rest is just hard, but not impossible. There's a chance now. There's hope. That's what completing Checkpoint 4 has given me. It's given me hope. Also, if I ever do this again, that I bet is where most all adventure maps run fail. They fail like 40 minutes in on Aquatic Adventure. Whew. Man, this checkpoint's going well now. It's under an hour. Hopefully, this is going to be under an hour and 30 minutes for Aquatic Adventure. Still atrocious. Still, like, really below what we would have wanted. But it could have been so much worse. And we're on to Harry Potter. Which is just simply, like, my specialty. So, like, that's fun. Got to do something I'm good at for once. Instead of this goddamn